Hey everybody, welcome to AJS News. This is video 2 of 2 for today.
But first, a word from our sponsors.
Whoa, the new Manscape gift boxes came in. Look at this. Oh, I can't wait to try out this new beard trimmer. Oh man, my beard has been so itchy over the past few days.
7,200 RPM motor, titanium coated blades. This lifts up all of the pesky hairs down there on the neck. This thing is amazing.
Oh my God, look at this, dude. They've got beard shampoo, beard oil, beard balm, beard conditioner. Oh, and it smells so good. Dude, Manscaped is so spoiling us. This is awesome.
It's amazing stuff.
Whoa!
The Manscaped Beard Hedger Pro Kit is the perfect gift for any man in your life.
Why? I can get a beard too.
Well, almost any man in your life. Get 20% off plus free shipping and 2 free gifts at Manscaped with promo code AngryJoeShow at manscaped.com.
You gotta take care of that beard. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, there's all sorts of products you can do.
So.
And then like the
Shampoo,
trimmers are really
balm.
nice too. I mean,
Oh,
yeah, they're amazing. What have you done with yours?
I even used a little bit on my mustache. It works perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I left it here.
You left here.
Oh,
This is actually Joe's.
Yeah.
So anytime we need a display copy for beard trimmers, we have one available. Guys, Joe, it's okay. It's all right, man. But if you do have a beard, guess what? They got a new product. It's freaking awesome. Click the links down below. They support our show, and you support our show as well when you get products from them. Alex, this is part 2 of gaming news. Let us know. Oh, by the way, this is our 200th episode celebration. 100. Actually, that's true. It's actually our 400th episode.
Plus or
every
minus a
time,
little.
plus or
Around
minus,
there,
no,
around there,
actually
I don't know.
plus, for sure plus.
There was a couple of weeks where we only did 1, but there was a couple of weeks we did 3. So it's,
There's
it's
more
probably
weeks we
close.
did more,
It's
right.
Somebody
probably
count.
close,
So,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody count that. No, it's taking way too long.
Someone's just gonna lie.
Over
Yeah.
400 episodes because we do 2 every week normally. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support the Angry Joe Show through our sponsors, through Patreon and our join button. That's our,
Watching our videos.
our mobile infantry, watching them, spreading them, subscribing. You've made our dreams come true, and we are so happy to be seeing you every week here and talking gaming. It's just amazing. So thank you guys so much. Alex, let's talk some gaming.
Let's talk about some acquisitions. Early in the week, the Saudi Arabia is getting really big into gaming. So we know that they already had some money in Nintendo, and they took even more, going up to 7.08% of Nintendo, putting major money in there. We've also talked about them setting aside $13 billion to acquire a major publisher, buying $1 billion stake in the Embracer Group. They're going hard. And then right after we was writing this, they took another stake. They decided to buy another 1.2% of Nintendo up to 8.26. I mean, they're out there spending a whole lot of money on Nintendo.
So now I'm sure every single person that boycotted Hogwarts Legacy is now going to be boycotting Nintendo because, of course, Saudi Arabia does not support any LBGT, no gays, no trans, no nothing.
No women, no
women's rights. So I'm sure everybody's going to not buy any Nintendo products or Ubisoft products for that matter. They got a lot of Saudi Arabian money as well. Any company that's been invested by Tencent, so I'm sure no more League of Legends. So, basically the point I'm making is the activism is getting a little out of control, and a lot of people are acting hypocritical with their buys. But it's like everybody has the right to not purchase something. What I have a problem with is when you cross that line and you start bullying others and harassing other people. I'm actually more than happy. I'm happy that you're like, no, I'm not going to give my money to that person. But for me, personally, I have to see the piece of shit themselves involved in the game. There has to be like the father. I can't blame the son, the daughter, the granddaughter. I'm not about that sins of the father stuff. So, yeah. And you can see that stuff doesn't work because, everybody is invested. It's a world economy. Everybody's invested in everything. And if you want to make those links, your money eventually is going to go somewhere towards. You have to continue to believe in what you believe and advocate what you believe and make sure that that's heard.
What I hear is the worst person out of everybody is actually Kevin Bacon, because there's this whole thing where you can connect him like within 7 degrees to all of these companies.
Right.
So we just have
He's
to
racist and transphobic
because he's
and
connected
bigots.
within 7 degrees.
He is the biggest bigot in the world.
So
if you support Kevin Bacon,
no, Kevin Bacon,
then
we
you
love
actually
I'm
support
just saying that.
everything.
Yeah.
And if you support everything, then you support nothing, and it just goes round and round.
Yeah.
Terrible.
All right, let's talk about a good story. Sega's always copied Nintendo, especially now because they're doing less stuff than Nintendo is. But Sega has decided to increase Japan-based employee salaries by 30%. They're like, whoa, Nintendo, you give people this much of a raise. We're gonna give people this much of a raise.
Good on Sega.
So,
another positive story. Of course, that's another Japanese company, and they have no problem sometimes paying their employees or having their CEOs take big pay cuts. It's rare, I'm sure, but we got to give it praise when it does. Like, that would be amazing if we started seeing that more in the gaming industry over here stateside. But yeah, Sega's not doing all that well. And so they think, okay, instead of cutting employees even more and working them even harder to the bone and fucking just trying to make a quick buck off of, all the trends in gaming that may not actually be worth anything, they're actually just going to make their employees happier and support creativity and support more stable jobs. So that's a good way to go about it. Yep. And I hope Sega does see some returns from this. And I don't know what they have in the pipe. What's coming up from Sega. I'll have to look it up.
Last thing they had was Frontier, right?
Yeah,
That was the last.
I'll see.
So Nintendo did 10% in March 2022. Capcom did 30%. Bandai Namco also said they would increase the base pay. Now, I don't want to rain on.
I get the Total War, right? That's Sega. So Creative Assembly stuff.
All of their staff in Japan, though, because it's only Japanese.
It's only Japanese. Yeah, I'm looking. They're Sonic titles, obviously.
Now, the real world. I mean, look, I'm the cynic. I'm going to give you the cynical shit. This is this is not altruism. No one at Sega did this because they're good-hearted. Because the people making the decisions are the people in the boardroom. They can't lose their staff because they know what happens when you have brain drain and you lose all your talented people. Look at DICE. There's not a functioning brain over at DICE at all. And because there's no one there with brains, they're making garbage games, and Sega doesn't want to become. Don't become 343. Don't become DICE. Don't become BioWare. When you lose your best employees, you make dog shit games for 5-6 years. Ubisoft's another great example of that. So they know they've got talented people working for them, and they know they have to pay them well to keep them there. So it is wonderful, and I celebrate with anytime the workers get more money. But I don't, I'm not willing to be like, cheering from the rooftops for anyone but the employees getting more money, because I think that this is a almost cold-hearted business decision.
Yeah. Well, cold-hearted or not, the people that are working on our games are getting a 30% increase, and so I'm happy about that. Sega's actually saying they're going to do a lot of remakes, some more remakes. Sonic Origins is one upcoming. If we're just focusing on Japanese studios, Company of Heroes 3 is American side. I think that's Sega, but Japanese stuff, we're going to be getting some remakes first, and then hopefully some new IPs as we move into 2023 and 2024.
All right, so let's talk about Roblox, and this one's kind of weird. The titles, the headlines are Roblox reports a nearly $1 billion net loss during 2022. Game platform continues to grow revenues, but expects to continue reporting losses for the foreseeable future. This is kind of this.
I thought that thing was making buku money bucks.
It's kind of presented in the same way that YouTube was before they got purchased by Google, where it's just like absolutely massive platform, haven't really figured out how to monetize it properly. Money's coming in, money's coming out, but they're sending too much money out and not enough's coming in, too high of costs. So,
interesting.
Yeah, so net loss.
I don't think they can sustain that. So there's going to be some changes coming with Roblox if that continues.
We just talked about Saudi Arabia setting aside $13 billion to start acquiring things, maybe a game developer. And if you're talking about one of the biggest games as far as kids go.
All of our children.
Yeah, and then so kids drive, that's a great demographic to advertise to. You get to sell them toys and TV shows and all the things that you want. So, Roblox will have to figure out how to monetize themselves pretty soon. We got some news from Mick Gordon, who did the composing for Atomic Heart. After hearing about some of the potential relations between Monfish and the Russian government and all these other things, he decided that he's going to donate all of the his composing fee to Ukrainian aid, giving that money to the Australian Red Cross's Ukraine Crisis Appeal in support of people of Ukraine who are heroically defending their country against aggression.
That's fucking awesome, man. Mick Gordon, you're fucking badass. That was a nice move.
Monfish also attempted to address things here, and they're also it's difficult because this is a really complicated political situation to be in. Monfish said. We assure you that Monfish is a developer and studio with a global team focused on innovative game and is undeniably a pro-peace organization against violence and people. We do not comment on politics or religion. Rest assured, we are a global team. And then they continue to... And then from what people in that region of the world, that is about as pro-peace, anti-war as you can possibly get
without being cracked down and sent to jail.
Yeah, your mom disappearing with a black bag going over her head. So it's really hard because we don't know all the details here. But like we've said with other things, like we try to judge the game for what it is, and then it's just difficult. So.
I just know this game has been in development for a long time. I forget the guy's name. It's like Artyom. This was an idea of his in 2008, before there was any, of the war that's currently going on or the invasion of Ukraine. And this one guy's dream, to have some really cool, interesting, wacky art. That's the thing that attracted me to the game the most. The look of it, the interesting kind of atmosphere. That one trailer was amazing. And he made, these little short movies. At first it was going to be a movie instead of a video game. And he was showing it off to people that had money within Russia because the guy was living in Russia. Over time, in order to make a video game that's like that, you're going to need hundreds of people, right? So this is a multinational organization. And in fact, when shit started going down, they moved to Cyprus. They moved their offices out. Now, is that to say that there's not some war Russians that may be adjacent or side adjacent to them? Yeah, but there's also anti-war people. I think they even have Ukrainian developers or some bits that were developed by Ukrainian third parties. So it is a multi-level game made by hundreds of people. And again, so as long as, they're saying, like, we do not support war, we're pro-peace, then, I wouldn't boycott a game like that. Now, if the game was like, if fucking Putin made this fucking game himself, he's putting his own money, and he's like, whatever we get from this game, I'm going to buy a tank with, now I'm having a problem with it. But I don't think that's how it's going, honestly.
Yeah. They've also done some things that appease fans. They had an old privacy policy which said that they were going to collect user information and everything like that. And then once people said, hey, that's not cool, they're like, you're absolutely right. We've actually never done that. They changed their privacy policy. They removed
but you have to understand that, we're forced in America to put up, those kinds of things, right? And the Russian one is going to be even more sinister sounding, going to be even more requirements. And so they were forced to do it initially, but they've changed all that stuff. So I'm not going to get into, like, if somebody wants to boycott it because they're like, hey, I'm from Ukraine, or, like, I don't support this game, and if there's a single Russian developer, I don't want it. But I'm also of the mind that there are innocent Russians, that don't want war, that can't really speak out, and it's not their fault that Putin's a fucking moron and, a warmonger, so it sucks. So just because it's Russian doesn't automatically make something bad for me. You have to look a little bit deeper than that.
We got some news this week from Ubisoft. They have confirmed that they are going to E3, so they will be the only people there.
First of all, Ubisoft should not be spending that kind of money. Yeah. They need to be saving that for something else, better games, or just give it to your employees.
Save your money, Ubisoft.
So they said that they are still finalizing the details, but they promise a strong lineup this summer.
I hope.
And so, that's a big hope. This is the time where they're speaking with their investors, and so they're saying that even after they cancel all those things, they're going to try to emphasize predictability in their new schedule lineup for facing their investors. It's like, look, we're going to have a smaller schedule. We're going to stick to it. We're not going to do crazy things like we've been in the last 5 years, which really was not working for them. And they also said this, and I don't believe them, that they have, and I quote, an improved version of Skull and Bones that has not shown anyone yet. So, you know, all those playtesters that are like, I didn't have a single bit of fun in 6 hours, and this is it somehow takes place in the ocean.
Oh,
and
that
it's
was
the
the
driest
bad version
It's
of
the
the
fucking
game.
driest thing I've ever done, and it's an insane grind that, you know, and all of the things that sound like an Ubisoft game. No. That's the wrong one. There's a new one. I haven't shown you.
That was
Their boyfriend goes to a different school.
Yeah.
His name's Philip.
In a different country too.
Philip Soundboard.
Different country.
Philip Soundboard is their boyfriend. He goes.
No, I don't believe you. Okay. Technically, they're right. Because if the more you delay a game, the more a team has time to remove bugs and glitches and try to refine it. So in that sense, you know, you are improving the game. But like I said, I would need to see significant changes. I would need to see new mechanics added to the game. Like I've said before, boarding, swashbuckling, mythic monsters, these kinds of things to make the experience more exciting. And apparently, they said it's a much better game now, and let us be the judge of that. Not what you say to investors.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's always going to be the peachiest version.
The investors are sniffing through the shit, though, because they don't just sit through a 60-hour bad game that just copy and paste it forever. I mean, the person specifically that this investment analyst added at the end was saying, like, what's going on with Skull and Bones? I'm asking because I've seen the reviews, and they don't look particularly strong. And these people have sometimes thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and even millions of dollars invested in this company.
Yeah.
And so they want to know, it's like, look, I gave you a whole bunch of fucking money. We're losing money like fucking crazy. You've delayed, so you made a DLC for Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And then you canceled it. And then you legally couldn't cancel it because you signed a contract with the government of Singapore. And then you blew it up. And then you realize that you have no talent or anyone with functioning brains working at your company. And the only thing that you do is grab people's asses when they don't want it to be grabbed. And then we made a pirate game. And then remember, you know all the cool things you love about pirates? Well, we're going to do none of that shit. It's all
Forget
fetch
what you
quests.
know.
And all the cool things the NPCs do for you. So if you want to raid that village, you can.
Off
but
screen.
you have to send someone else to do it. And then you just get
They
to sit
have the
there.
fun and
and
you
then
watch.
you use your advocates to say, like, oh, I got all these things. And so the investors are fucking scared because they're like, I gave you money, and money is turning into nothing. And
Cut it out.
it makes sense. So,
Man, I'm excited for Skull and Bones now. I really want to see. It's probably just going to be the most meh game ever, like painfully, boringly average.
That's what I'm afraid of too. Is like
And
it won't be bad, but
It won't be bad.
good.
It's almost almost worse.
Yeah,
boring-
exactly.
boring
This
is
like
worse than
that's,
bad.
Exactly.
Boring is
It's
always
just like
worse
that's
than
what I'm
bad.
worried about. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
we laugh at bad things. Every
Exactly.
now
Oh
and
yeah,
then.
we have a
yeah.
lot of fun with the Fast and
way
Furious.
bad. I want it
crush.
to be bad.
Yeah, we want. Yeah, so
We want it.
yeah,
True.
because it's not good. They don't have the capability over there. Like I truly don't think that they have it in them to make a 10-year-old. How long did Black Flag come out?
long
Like 10 years ago. Like if it's an expansion from let's say 8 years ago, it's like you can't blow that up into a full-size game. All right, we got some news.
You can. I think the original idea was cool, but there was, man, that thing got restarted. The people at the top fired and replaced, and new management and new ideas, and they shifted the location of the seas and just all this. It's like, nah, I don't know. Anyways, what did you say?
Facebook, so Meta and Instagram are going to follow Twitter because it worked really well for them. We're getting paid verification badges. So if your mom...
So let's copy the fucking stupidest idea that Elon has recently come up with on Twitter.
They made
which
money.
It popped
They
up on
made
my
money.
screen. It's like, you're going to lose access to your account if you don't remove your two-factor authentication. This is only for Twitter Blue subscribers. I'm like, what?
Make security worse to punish you.
What the fuck? You're selling security features? And Facebook goes, genius! Mark Zuckerberg. Like, these billionaires, they fucking copy off of each other's fucking notes. They're not doing it for you. They're doing it for the fucking money, period. And they don't give a fuck about the user experience.
But it's your fault for not buying into the metaverse. If they weren't losing $10 billion a year, or
Right.
that's actually even more than that, if they weren't losing that much,
It's when you get desperate that you do these
you
things.
do dumb shit, yeah.
Like fucking Elon is desperate as fuck because he's been saddled with this, fucking Twitter because he was being an edgelord on fucking Twitter, and now he's got to fucking buy the thing, and he's trying to find ways to make money from it. And you're right, Meta is also doing the exact same thing because of their dumbassery VR world that they thought everybody was going to live in VR and work in VR. They're going to put on their headset to go to their meetings.
We can't back out now. We got to stick.
So
stick
now,
to it.
give us $12 for a month
That's only on the web.
for security features.
No, well, so it's $15 per month on
Jesus.
cell phone. And so Australians it's going in Australia and New Zealand first. Australians will pay $20 per month.
It's up to you, Australians and New Zealanders in the Angry Army. It's up to you. Do not buy that shit.
Nah, I ain't buying it.
Show them that
I don't need to
we
check
are
mark.
not that stupid. Like, fuck. I mean, I know they think we're that stupid. And frankly, there are some people that stupid on Facebook, but not any of the Angry Army.
The Meta staff had the gall to say, this is something that's been requested by people.
No, it hasn't. Show me.
They were requesting.
Show me.
Yeah, when they're like, hey, can you guys do better security? Aha, you want $15 a month security pays. No.
That's not what I said.
This
no,
is
no.
kind of your job to make sure people aren't. No, that's exactly what it is. So some of the requests is like public figures wanted to make sure that people weren't impersonating them, and they're like, okay, well, I'm going to charge you for it. And they're like, well, I didn't say that part. And they're like, well, I'm going to charge you for it. And I'm also not only am I not going to charge you for it, if you don't use it, I'm probably going to punish you for it the way that Twitter did. And so this is what came up. You're getting a verified badge confirming you're the real you, more protection from impersonation, help you when you need it across a real person for common account issues, so you're paying for customer service, increase visibility and reach with prominent exclusive features. There's a bunch of shit that no one wants, and then they want to charge you a whole bunch of money. So you have to tell whoever in your life is still using Facebook, one, stop it.
Stop it.
And, no one wants to
Stop
buy your
it.
MLM shit anyway. But, yeah. So
That's
Stop
a
it.
terrible idea, but whatever. People are going to buy it. Can't
No,
stop it.
people are not going to buy it.
They won't
and
buy
we
the
need
Twitter
to make,
one.
We need to make that shit. Fucking morons. It's a badge of idiocy. Just every time you see it, just call them out on it. And eventually they'll stop wasting their money. You'd be doing them a favor.
okay.
Cool.
That's what I got for these ones.
Yeah, I got some. PlayStation State of Play is going to air this week, guys. I didn't know this. Thursday, February 23rd. A new look at butchering Superman's legacy and face, and Suicide Squad kill the Justice League, kill Superman. I'm excited. They're going to probably show off more Batman. I'm excited about that part, but we're going to see more of Kill the Justice League. And also, big time PSVR 2 reveals. You're looking at indie, third party, and first party. 5 new first partners for their PSVR 2, which we pre-ordered. We have it, and we will eventually be doing a stream/review to see if it's going to be worth your time. I have wasted my money so that you do not have to waste yours. Next is Apple TV, Tetris. Have you guys seen this?
Yeah.
I did.
This
I
fucking trailer is like fucking goes hard, dude, for Tetris. This looks like it's going to be a good movie. I don't want to fucking get Apple TV, god damn it.
I
Yeah,
won't do
that's
it.
what it said. That's
I
the
know
only
y'all
thing. Apple
motherfuckers
TV,
aren't doing
nah,
it.
I'm
I won't-
good.
I
I have
refuse
to
to.
do it for the show and then give my password to the fucking idiot. God damn it. But I'll tell you what, I'll do it and I'll let you know. Is it worth turning it on and then turning it off? I'll let you know because this film looks great. It looks interesting. Though a whole movie about Tetris?
Yeah, I mean, so there was a huge legal battle where, so Tetris was developed in the Soviet Union, and this is about the game's producer kind of seeing the game, having his mind blown. It's like, this has to...
This
He's
is the
talking about
best
like
game
dreaming about
ever.
it. So having to go over there and during the Cold War and like having all of his being searched and chased and...
Because if you make a game over there, technically it's owned by the Soviet
them,
Union.
Yeah, so them trying to get all the rights for it. So
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And the trailer is really cool because it's got this style where it goes, it slams between like video game 8-bit kind of stuff. And so I think that's going to be a good one. Surprise.
You'll have to tell me what it's like. Yeah.
I'll tell you my password.
Stupid Apple.
Son of a bitch.
No, what we have to do is we have to have
Edition.
someone else who... No, because I don't even want anyone to have Apple products, but,
Me
maybe we can find someone to share their password with us. We can just pull an OJ and be like, hey, share it with us
Does
because
your sister have Apple TV?
No.
I don't want to support
You
them
sure?
anyway.
Can you like drop hints that maybe she should
You
get?
should get into the, there's nothing there
Nobody
to run
else, just your sister. And Apple TV is like, we have one subscriber, and it's Joe's sister, and yet we have
1,000 hours.
17 million active users.
Yeah.
Something's not adding up. Everybody knows Joe's sister's password.
It's the only way.
Tetris. Cool. Well, that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us through 200, 400 episodes, and we hope to bring you 400 more. Please consider joining our Patreon, our YouTube join button, subscribe to keep us going directly. Also visit our sponsors. That helps us quite a bit, helps you along the way as well with these badass products from Manscaped. Click the links down below, and let's do many more together, yes? Yep. And we will see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.